Hi there, I'm here, and today we're going to look at some more words that are part of the English language. I'll show you the word, then give you time to think about what it means, and then finally give you the definition. Okay, let's get started. The first word is ranking. What does ranking mean? Ranking can be used as a noun or a verb. As a noun, it refers to the position or level of someone or something in a list based on importance or quality. For example, if you ask someone who is the best basketball player in the world, they might say LeBron James or Michael Jordan. If I had to choose, I would rank them both very highly. That list or order is called a ranking. Now, here's a quick tip. Sometimes verbs ending in can act as nouns. These are called gerunds. Examples include singing, sleeping, jumping, and swimming. So while ranking is related to a verb to rank, it can also function as a noun when we're talking about positions in a list. As a verb, to rank means to arrange people or things in order based on a certain quality like importance, skill, or performance. On to the next word, and this one is evoke. What's the meaning of evoke? Evoke is a verb. To evoke something is to bring it out or to call it forth. For example, when I was young, my dad used to tell me stories about his childhood. These stories always evoked a strong sense of nostalgia. Another example, she used soft music to evoke memories from her youth. Do you have a story that evokes a strong memory for you? Share it with us below. The next word is spark. What does spark mean? Spark can be both a noun and a verb. As a verb, to spark means to cause or trigger something to happen. For example, a single comment sparked a huge argument. That comment was like throwing gasoline on a fire. It started or made the argument worse. As a noun, a spark can be a small fiery particle or a sign of something beginning. For example, there was a spark of hope in the darkness. We caught a glimpse of it during the presentation. She showed a spark of genius by coming up with an incredible solution. A spark can also be physical, like a tiny flame that can start a fire. For instance, a spark from a campfire can ignite dry leaves. You can also use spark figuratively. For example, someone can spark a friendship by inviting another person over for dinner, meaning they started or encouraged the friendship. So, the meaning of spark depends on how you use it, whether as a noun or a verb. The next word is condemn. What does condemn mean? Condemn is a verb with two main meanings. The first meaning is to express strong disapproval of something. For example, most countries condemned the attack. Here, condemn means to strongly criticize or disapprove of an action. The second meaning is to sentence someone to an unpleasant outcome. For example, the judge condemned him to prison. In this case, condemn means to declare someone guilty and assign a punishment. Which meaning do you think is stronger? Both are very strong, but they are used in different situations. One is about expressing disapproval, and the other is about delivering a judgment or punishment. Now, let's pause and think about the next word. What does postwar mean? Postwar is an adjective. It describes something related to the period of time after war. For example, postwar reconstruction means rebuilding after the war. Another example is post-war economic policies, which are rules and plans made to help a country recover its economy after a war. What comes to your mind when you hear the phrase post-war? On to the next word. What does confrontation mean? Confrontation is a noun. It means a disagreement or argument that happens openly between people. For example, two men had a confrontation in the street. A confrontation can be friendly, like a debate or discussion, but it can also be hostile, meaning unfriendly and aggressive. Hostility is the feeling of being unfriendly or angry towards someone. One way to remember the word confrontation is to think about the word front. When you confront someone, you face them directly. So, a confrontation is basically a face-to-face meeting, often involving conflict or disagreement. The next word is indigenous. What does indigenous mean? Indigenous is an adjective. It describes people, animals, plants, or things that naturally come from and live in a particular place. For example, the Indigenous people of Canada are called the First Nations. Indigenous peoples are the original inhabitants of a land they lived there before other groups arrived. The word Indigenous comes from the Latin word indigenus, which means born in a place. The next word is banner. What does banner mean? Banner can be both a noun and a verb. As a noun, a banner is a large piece of cloth with writing or a symbol on it. Banners are often used for advertising or to show support for a person, organization, or cause. You probably see banners all the time. Many websites have banner ads to promote their services. And if you walk outside, you might see a banner advertising an event or product. As a verb, to banner means to put up or cover something with banners. For example, the school spirit club is going to banner the football field. This means they will decorate or cover the field with banners. What's the meaning of nursery? Nursery can be a noun with a few different meanings. As a noun, a nursery is a place where young plants are grown, like a plant nursery. A room in a house where babies or young children are cared for. For example, every child wants to read books in the nursery. It's also part of the phrase nursery rhymes, which are simple songs or poems for children. However, nursery is not used as a verb in English. The related verb is to nurse, which means to care for or look after someone, often in a gentle way. For example, my mother nursed me when I was sick. The next word is mature. What does mature mean? Mature can be both an adjective and a verb. As an adjective, mature means fully developed or grown and not childish. For example, she's too young to be mature. Being mature can also mean being responsible and emotionally balanced. Not everyone is emotionally mature, but you can improve your emotional maturity through hard work and dedication. As a verb, to mature means to become fully developed or ready. For example, over time, fruit will mature and become ready to eat. Can you think of anything else that can mature? What about cheese? Yes, cheese can mature too. If you leave it long enough, some cheeses become very tasty. The next word is invisible. What does invisible mean? Invisible is an adjective. It means impossible to see something that cannot be seen with your eyes. For example, the wind is invisible. You can't see it, but you can feel it. What else is invisible? How about love? You can't see love, but you can feel it through someone's actions and words. So, invisible describes anything that is present but not visible. The next word is blessing. What's the meaning of blessing? Blessing is a noun. It's a noun, which means it's a word for a person or thing or idea. It is something that makes life better. For example, rain is a blessing after a long dry spell. Rain is a blessing because it helps the crops grow. Another example, health is a blessing. I feel very blessed to be healthy. Next word, youngster. What's the meaning of youngster? Youngster is a noun. It's a word for a person, especially a boy, who is young. For example, he likes playing sports with other youngsters in the neighborhood. Youngsters spend all their free time playing video games. Who's the youngster in your family? The next word is conserve. What does conserve mean? Conserve is a verb. It means to save or protect something, especially for future use. For example, you should conserve water. This is especially important in places where water is scarce. Conserve can also mean to protect natural resources. For example, the government is conserving forests and wildlife for future generations. We can also conserve money, time, or energy. For example, I conserve energy by biking to school instead of driving. By conserving resources, we help protect the planet and use what we have more wisely. The next word is migration. What's the meaning of migration? Migration is a noun. It's the movement of animals or people from one place to another, usually following a seasonal cycle. For example, every year, millions of birds migrate south for the winter. Humans migrate in search of a better life. We can also talk about human migration. The next word is maximize. What's the meaning of maximize? Maximize is a verb. It means to make the most or the best from a situation or opportunity. For example, I always try to maximize my potential. She maximized the available space in the small apartment. I want to maximize my profits. That means she arranged the furniture in such a way that the apartment looks spacious. While I want to maximize my profits, I also want to consider the impact of my actions. Considering means thinking about something carefully. On to the next word, and this one is weave. What's the meaning of weave? Weave is a verb. It means to form something by interlacing. Threads, for example, the weaver weaves carpets. You can also use it figuratively. For example, she weaved a tale of adventure. She told an exciting story. The next word is punch. What's the meaning of punch? Punch can be both a noun and a verb. As a noun, a punch is a strong hit with your fist. For example, he delivered a powerful punch to his opponent's jaw. As a verb, to punch means to hit someone or something with your fist. For example, he punched the bag to relax. Punch can also mean to add flavor or strength to food. For example, orange juice can punch up the taste of a smoothie. What does punch out mean? It means to make something stronger or more intense. And guess what? Pun intended. The next word is enrich. What's the meaning of enrich? Enrich is a verb. It means to improve the quality of something. For example, good teachers enrich students' lives. Her experience enriched the company. You can also use it literally. For example, fertilizer can enrich the soil. The festival will enrich our culture. The next word is medieval. What's the meaning of medieval? Medieval is an adjective. It describes something related to the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages were the time in Europe between the fall of Rome in 476 AD and the beginning of the Renaissance in the 14th century. For example, she lived in a medieval castle. The knight wore medieval armor. The painting shows a medieval village. Next word, hopeful. What's the meaning of hopeful? Hopeful is an adjective. It means feeling or giving hope. For example, she looked at me with hopeful eyes. Hopeful is a good thing. We can all benefit from being more hopeful. The next word is notable. What's the meaning of notable? Notable is an adjective. It means worthy of attention or notice. For example, she made a notable improvement in her English. He's a notable actor. He starred in 3 movies last year. The next word is contend. What's the meaning of contend? To contend is a verb. It has 2 main meanings. The first is to compete. For example, 4 teams contended for the championship. The second meaning is to argue or disagree. For example, they contended over the price of the car. The next word is exit. What's the meaning of exit? Exit can be both a noun and a verb. As a noun, an exit is a way out. For example, I found the exit. We need to find an exit. An emergency exit is a special way out used in emergencies only. As a verb, to exit is to leave. For example, please exit the building. The next word is instrumental. What's the meaning of instrumental? Instrumental is an adjective. It means very important and useful. For example, her kindness was instrumental in solving the problem. She was very helpful. The dictionary is an instrumental part of my learning. The next word is fairness. What's the meaning of fairness? Fairness is a noun. It means the quality of being just, impartial, and non-discriminatory. For example, everyone wants to live in a fair society. This question has been debated for ages. What is fair? Can you think of a situation where you experienced unfairness? Unfortunately, such cases exist around the world. The next word is sustain. What's the meaning of sustain? Sustain is a verb. It has 2 main meanings. The first is to experience something unpleasant. For example, he sustained serious injuries in the accident. She sustained damage to her property. The second meaning is to support or supply. For example, the government sustains the economy with taxes. Can you think of anything else that sustains the economy? What about the oil industry? It sustains the country's economy. Now to pause and think about the next word. What's the meaning of frankly? Frankly is an adverb. It means to be honest or in a straightforward manner. For example, frankly, I don't care about your problems. I'm sorry, but frankly, it's none of my business. We use frankly at the beginning of a sentence to introduce a straightforward statement. The next word is discretion. What's the meaning of discretion? Discretion is a noun. It's the ability to make responsible decisions and to keep secret what other people have told you. For example, it was a mistake to reveal your personal information. You should have used your discretion. The next word is adjacent. What's the meaning of adjacent? Adjacent is an adjective. It means being next to something else. For example, the hotel is adjacent to the beach. The shops are adjacent to each other. Houses on the street are painted in different colors, but they are adjacent. That is, they're next to each other. The next word is high profile. What's the meaning of high profile? High profile is an adjective. It means very well known and important. For example, the president met with a high-profile delegation. The company hired a high-profile manager. We can also talk about high-profile clients. Next word, supreme. What's the meaning of supreme? Supreme is an adjective. It means the best or greatest. For example, the pizza here is supreme. This is my favorite pizza place. Supreme can also mean most powerful. For example, the president is the supreme leader of the country. Next word, gaze. What's the meaning of gaze? Gaze can be both a noun and a verb. As a noun, gaze means a long, steady look. For example, she returned his gaze. That means she looked at him steadily. As a verb, to gaze means to look at something steadily, often with deep thought or admiration. For example, we spent hours gazing at the stars. The next word is collaborate. What's the meaning of collaborate? Collaborate is a verb. It means to work together with someone else to create or achieve something. For example, the painter collaborated with a musician to create a unique performance. The team collaborated on an important project. People can also collaborate on creative work, like writing a book or making a video. The next word is contemplate. What's the meaning of contemplate? Contemplate is a verb. It means to think about something carefully, often for a long time. For example, I contemplated my future. She contemplated the pros and cons of moving abroad. Contemplate can also mean to quietly admire something beautiful or peaceful. For instance, I stood there contemplating the ocean. Thanks for watching, friends.